Hey, what is going on YouTube? Aaron here. We are in the Perth, guys. The HMAS Perth, the pride of the Australian Navy. Shout out to all my Aussies out there. We're going to be going over a few things in this video. Number one, how to get the Perth. Number two, is she worth it? Worth the Perth? And number three, the playstyle of the Perth. So let's kind of go into, is she worth it? It's a good ship, very versatile. Stats and commander guide at the end. She's rather squishy. She doesn't have the best maneuverability, but she provides a lot of versatility, which I show throughout this game. The reason I chose this game is because it highlights pretty much everything you need to know with the Perth. This is not a high damage game at all. It's not really that interesting. That's why we kind of sped up a lot of the game here. But let's go ahead and break away and add in the little screenshot here of how to get the Perth. Basically, you will need to complete the Halloween event, and I went over this in my commander or the Halloween crate video, but you will need to complete the Halloween event, 5 stars on each mission, and then unlock the Kawachi, or the Tier 3 Japanese battleship, and then complete those missions. I think there's a few other daily trials as well, but also please do note the max amount that I have been told and is shown on the website here, that the max amount of shards you can get is 9,810, so you will need to purchase at least one Halloween crate to unlock the Perth. You cannot get this for free, to my knowledge. If somebody finds a workaround, I think Mr. Long and Jay With were looking for it, but I don't think they found one. But anyway, I don't know if you can see on screen here when I put this back in my audio to the video, but we moved up. I'm speeding up this footage here because honestly, the beginning of this game is really boring. Like I said, you want to play this ship very cautiously. You don't have any armor. You do have a fairly protected citadel, but battleships will absolutely yeet you at this tier with how little armor you have, even some cruisers. You do it, like I said, a fairly protected citadel, and we will go over the armor at the end as well. But we are running Mr. Farmcomb as our commander, and he is unique. That is something I also don't like about the way they did this ship. As it is a Commonwealth ship, Mr. Farmcomb is only available through the commander's tab, and you will have to purchase him for 900,000 Commander XP. Now, as soon as the Commander tab becomes available for the Commonwealth in our port, like in our search section, then you will be able to purchase him, and he will be available in crates, but until then, he is not available in crates, nor the Halloween crates. I don't know why Wargaming did this. I feel like it's a UI issue, meaning he can't be available in the crates until he's in the UI and you can search for him. But that should have been thought of well before the release of him. But regardless, back to the gameplay. As you can see, we're moving into B here. We're using our concealment, which is another plus for the ship. You want to be very cautious. We do have the kind of crawling smoke here, which you can see. If you go 1/4 speed, that little gold bar in the bottom right corner will tell you how fast you can go and not outrun your smoke on all ships, not just this ship. But you can see it here. If you go 1/4 speed, you can continue to move and keep protected in your smoke there. We have a broadside Queen Elizabeth. I think I get a perm fire here or a fire, and then we switch to the HE. I wanted to, or the AP, I wanted to test the AP on a broadside, and it actually chunks pretty decently. Like I said, this is not a high damage game at all, but it shows you the utility. We've gotten a cap, we've gotten a central position here. We're defending the left. Now, if you can see on the left of the mini-map here, we have 2 ships over there, a Budiani on the north, and then a Mahan on the west side there. So, in the meantime, I'm thinking about damage farming, but I'm also realizing, okay, if I want to win this game, if I want to be a team player that I preach constantly, I need to go to A here. And coming up, I actually wanted to clip in the audio from the game because I was kind of announcing and going over gameplay strategy, and I think it's a really good tactic, or it was a really teachable moment, and we'll talk about it afterwards. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Aaron from the past, and we'll be right back. Okay. Mahan's right there. Let's go kill Mahan. Cafe. Do what we need to do as a cruiser. We do have another cruiser. So the Trento's there. It's a Budiani. That could be dangerous. Gotcha. need to watch out for that Budyani broadsiding us.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
Problem solved, sir.
And I actually want to get some broadside from you. Paying attention to your angles, situational awareness is a 1000% key in a cruiser. You will not be successful if you are not. The reason we went this way instead of that way is because that Budyani was last seen over there and he was in that same position. If we come out here and that Budyani had moved here or here, we give him broadside while trying to fight a destroyer. If the destroyer had not come up, then it would have been a terrible situation for us. But he didn't, so we'll go ahead and turn in here. He's trying to rush Armahan. Hey, welcome back. Did you guys catch all that? There was a lot to unpack there, and I actually want to go over it again just because it's very important of how to be a better cruiser player and just how to be useful in this ship. So as you can see right here, we are spotted. We are not plane detected anymore. We are surface detected. If you can look on the minimap, the only ship that can surface detect us right now is the Mahan through that gap. There's a smoke screen above us that should be protecting us from the Budyani if he's north, and there are no other ships spotted to the east there. So no, we do pick up the plane detection again, which kind of tells me the angle of the Mahan. It's right to the right here. So I know the Mahan doesn't have long-range torps, but as soon as I round this corner, I pop my hydro. We see the Mahan. He kind of made a mistake moving in for torps or moving into this gap, but regardless of that, we knew where he was and we had our hydro popped. Now, if you notice here, I explained it in the in-game, in the live highlight. I turn left here. If this Budyani had been right there, we could have potentially have been smacked. But we are moving into island cover. If I go to the right path there and the Budyani is up there and the destroyer is not spotted, I am now fighting a destroyer or don't have, he's detecting me and I don't know where he is with the Budyani on my broadside. By taking this path, I can get into the cap or even kite out if I need to while potentially fighting this destroyer and moving out of his torp range and protecting myself from the Budyani. Plays like that and situational awareness will increase your damage, it'll increase your win rate, it will increase your battle impact. I see so many people just aimlessly sailing, not looking at the points, not looking at the board, not looking at anything really, and just dying in the first 2 minutes. So try to think of things like this. Now, these are thoughts of a Super Unicum. There was so much going through my head in the moment, trying to analyze all of that and then play. So, you may not be at that level yet, but start to think about things like that. Oh, I'm surface detected instead of plane detected. Why am I surface detected? What's the next move? You should always be thinking about your next move. But anyway, back to the game here. I kind of speed through getting the cap, and I actually fast forward it to the end of the game here because the game is kind of over. We got 3 caps. Now, we don't want to aimlessly sail in here, but I kind of told myself I have the smoke. This Trento was low. Our team did a good job of holding their seaside while actually keeping the cap. This is a lesson as well. If you are on the weak side, now it happens more often than not, don't just accept defeat. Sail in there or kite out or defend the cap the best you can. Those people, the teammates at sea held. The enemy team had a strong right push. And they held, and we got the crossfire. We secured the A cap, so we had 2 caps, and they actually got the C cap in return. So there's multiple things you can do even on the losing sides, but that is just kind of off topic at the moment. Here, I'm testing the damage. I wanted to see the HE output. I wanted to put a perm fire and then switch to the AP while kind of moving into closer gun range. The sweet spot for this cruiser is going to be anywhere from 13 to 8 kilometers. You don't want to move in too close as the battleships can just rush your smoke. You do have torpedoes, which actually do a fair amount of damage, and you have 4 of them, I believe. And you can see here we actually get lucky in just 1 overpen, but like I said, the torpedoes do fairly, they're battleship deterrent. Torpedoes, you can also single fire them, so if you smoke up and a destroyer or something is kind of coming, you can throw those out as sea mines, essentially zoning torps. But we switched to the AP here after getting or I think he just put out a perm fire, but the AP on that salvo, and then we switched back to the HE to get the perm fire. Like I said, this is not a high damage game, but if you can see 1 solo cap, 1 assistant cap. Like I said, we didn't do that much damage, but I will show the XP result at the end, and a few of you may be shocked because some people, Battleship mains especially, think that this game is all about damage, and it is not. You will not be putting up high damage numbers in this ship. It is just not. It just does not have the DPM. If you catch 8 broadside cruisers, I'm sure it might you might get 120K there and sneak a high caliber in. But the HE is rather lackluster, and we do get a beautiful broadside on the Ryoju there. 2 Citadels at medium to medium range here. But like we said, the HE is just lackluster. It only has a 9% fire chance with FarmCom special perk there. And we did have a fire on the New Mexico, and we killed the Ryoju, and we actually cheesed the double strike there at the end. That is one way. I know a few people have asked me about getting double strikes. If you've got a fire on one ship that's really low, switch to the other ship that you can shoot at, and that is a way to cheese the double strikes. But we'll go ahead and throw there's the final battle result, 2,700 XP, first on the team, and a win. This ship, like we said, is going to be very versatile, but you will not be putting up the high damage numbers. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to myself from the past to go over the ship stats. So appreciate you guys watching. Everyone have a great day. AA run out. 4 kills, 2,700 XP, high battle impact. That is the way of the Perth, ladies and gentlemen. Great little cruiser here. This is the build we were running. Harold B. Farncom. Harold. Mr. Farncom. Beyond range. And this is the new perk. We might put that on, but I don't know. We need a little bit more fire chance as well. We have punch through, could maybe increase the speed. However you want to build this. Rudder shift time, okay. And beyond range or refill station with fixated as well. We are running Mikawa, and I just threw on Luchins because I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how to really build this right now. I wanted to play a ship or a game in it and see how it feels. Feels good. I like having that extra AP damage, actually, so I'm just going to keep it on there. Here are the stats, with the commander, so keep those in mind. 27,000 health, not a lot. 4x2 152s. 7.5 base reload, 7.1 with, I think, refill station or something on there. So not the best reload, but not the worst either. I think the Dallas is fairly similar with the 152s. But you just lack that overall penetration on your HE. I'm guessing it's 1/6 penetration. As you can see there, we've got a 9% fire chance, and that is with... Okay, that's with the old build, so 11%, 12%. With the old build. The new build is the lowest at 9% there. AP damage is actually decent. Like, you've got those Citadels on the carrier there at the end, but it was kind of in garbage time. Torpedoes, we didn't launch any, but minute and a half reload, 8-kilometer range and 61 knot speed. They're more defensive torpedoes. You can use them in your smoke, I guess. Can't really use them like the Italians or the Japanese, I guess, where you kind of throw them and hope to hit something a minute later, but they still are viable. Maneuverability is all right. Your acceleration is awful, though. We got the rudder down. It was like 7.6 base, so 6.1 here. Fairly tight turning circle. Maximum speed with the flag, 33.5. I'm guessing you get that up a little bit more. So Hipper might have some fun with this thing, but the agility is to be desired. What I was talking about earlier, I couldn't think of it, is the defensive AA is what came stock. I guess you don't really need the plane, but the plane, my idea was to have the plane up while in smoke to help kind of spot for me if I needed to. And running solo, that's a little more. We didn't get attacked by the carrier once, so I think I'll just keep this on for now. But yeah, the armor is pretty bad. You do have a 20mm front plate, which can defend no battleships, I don't think. But every cruiser, I do believe. Citadel, yeah, like I said, it's not... it's actually a little bit lower than I kind of thought, so you won't be getting purely yeeted. No, it's above water there. You can see it. The ship kind of... You can see, hold on. The ship's like... I forget the term for this, but it's wading or floating here. And it's kind of moving the Citadel. So yeah, it's fairly out of the water. Not like the Mino or nothing, but... Yeah, don't expect to sail broadside in this thing to cruisers especially, and not just get your shit wrecked. So it's not at the front guns. The Citadel does not extend to the front guns, which is kind of similar to that British style. So I'm pretty sure this is a cruiser. Hold on, we'll look at the overview. Hidden, agile. The ship was built by the UK based on a rework class of the Leander. I was right. With a modified arrangement of the propulsion unit. She was similar in her prototype in terms of armament, but had a different armor layout. She was commissioned. So yeah, those British cruisers at the mid to low tiers have kind of that Citadel that sits at the back. So I've been caught aiming at the front two turrets and just gotten pens or over pens. So make sure you're kind of aiming at the back there if you want to blow her up. Clearing fog says limited smokescreen, but what that means is, I try to explain it in game. There is a marker on every smokescreen that shows you how fast you can go and not be out of your smokescreen. For example, on most destroyer players, or most destroyers, except for the Paulo and others, you can go 1/4 speed and still be in your smokescreen, meaning it's still puffing. The same thing with this ship. If you start your smokescreen and you go 1/4 speed, you will be in it the entire time. You can also stop, but don't go full speed and expect to still be in your smokescreen like the Italians can. And again, that's indicated by the little gold marker when you start your smokescreen on the throttle, on the bottom right of your screen. So, a little fun fact for those that did not know. But yeah, guys, that's the first look at the Perth. We'll maybe try and get some more games in her. Yeah, Aaron out. Peace.